Hey y'all, this is Sunny Far Side, Sportstake. This is our 16th episode. I went back and did the research. We've been doing this a while, and we've been talking about the depth of sports across the board. And I'm here again with my brothers, Brother Phil, Brother Jeff, and Brother Gil that with us today. And we're going to be talking about some good sports. A lot of things happening. We got March Madness for the boys. We got March Madness for the girls. Hey, last time we did a projection of who was going to win. I want to know who got closest with that. Phil, can you give us a report? Who got closest?
Well, all I know is I didn't say anything about the women because they were obvious, but I did get UConn and North Carolina State on the men's side. The other two, I actually had Arizona, which got beat, and then I wouldn't have gotten the other one anyway because they played each other. I didn't research the region quick. I just gave you a quick answer, but that would have been Marquette, who lost to North Carolina State. So hey, I'll take 2 out of 4. But this is the first time for me since the 80s that I did not participate in an active pool for money. And I just didn't want to do it this year. I feel good. I just wanted to watch and just pay attention to what's going on. And I did. But it felt funny because it's the first time I didn't do it since the 80s.
Yeah, I had Marquette, Connecticut, of course. I didn't have Alabama or North Carolina State. North Carolina State being the surprise, man. And the big boy in the middle, to your point that you made earlier, brother, before the show started, that big boy's doing work, man. And everything's going through him, but you don't see that often now because everybody's launching up 3-pointers. But that kid is special, man. There's another kid, too, and I'm going to bring him up, and I'm going to leave this Indiana State. That big kid that got the glasses and looks funny.
Oh, yeah.
That kid can play. Yeah, that kid can play, man.
Yeah.
He's going to the league. So, all right, I'm out.
Indiana State?
Somebody else? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not familiar with him.
Yes, Rickie.
How you doing, Brother Rick? How you doing, brother? We talking about the NCAA, what's going on. As you see in the background of mine, I didn't hear anybody pick Purdue and Zach Eddie, whatever his name is.
Edie, yeah.
I picked U of H. I thought it was U of H's year, but one player goes down and they kind of out of sorts.
No backup.
Brother Rick, did you pick a Final Four? That's what we're talking about. I guess he doesn't hear us. How about you? 6ix9ine, Jeff?
Yeah, actually, I picked Purdue and UConn. I got the other ones wrong. I picked Purdue and UConn. I knew Duke was going to be U of H. I told you guys that Duke was going to be U of H.
So you telling me you picked Purdue? You picked Zach Edey?
I picked Purdue and UConn, but I didn't pick the other two.
I never saw it.
But I also told you guys that U of H was going to lose to Duke. You remember that? And y'all all disagree with me? Y'all don't remember that?
No, not all disagree. I never picked them. I didn't.
All of y'all disagree with me about Duke beating U of H.
That's not true, Jeff. Come on now.
Oh, you agree with me?
No, I didn't agree with you because I didn't pick U of H either.
I don't know if anybody
we sent our picks in that same game. I did.
To Zach Edey, though. Brother Rick, you with us now? I guess he doesn't hear us yet.
Might be on mute.
I don't think anybody gave real value to Zach Edey. I know I said he was slow, but
I like him. The team choke every year, and they came through this year. I mean, Purdue been choking for 20 years, man. They had good team.
That boy got a chip on his shoulder, though.
He should.
Everybody passed over him. Everybody saying he wasn't no good. And
I didn't say that he was player of the year last year. Carl, he's gonna be player of the year this year. Nobody said he wasn't good. The team. I'm talking about the team, not him. The coach.
That's what he said himself. That's what he said.
Yeah, he did say that. But he did.
Yeah, that's what he
called out Rick Barnes. That was one of the coaches he called out too.
And he got a chip on his shoulder, and somebody with a chip on their shoulder, they have a little extra motivation.
That's why he got
I'm not going to discount them to win the championship.
Well, that's why he got 41 against Tennessee. That's his career high.
He's a monster, brother.
He's a monster inside. No question.
How do we think he's going to do in the pros?
Might be too slow. Depends on who. Depends on who he goes to, man. Because he might be too slow. They're gonna run right by him. but he's a big body, man. He's a big body. And if in the playoffs, when it goes down low in the NBA, he'll be a factor because he's so wide and so big, man. He just gonna take up too much space.
Now, what about the boy from NC State? I heard Charles Barkley compare
him. I like that guy. Burns. Who's that? Burns?
Yeah.
DJ Burns.
Yeah, I like Burns. I like his feet. He reminds me of Big Baby. You remember Big Baby used to play for Boston?
He reminds me of Zach Randolph.
That's what Barkley said.
Zach Randolph.
Yeah, he reminds me of Zach Randolph too. Yeah, Randolph too.
Because he's left-handed, man. That kid, it's hard, man. When you play against a left-handed, Jeff, it's very difficult, especially if you're a wide body down low. It's very difficult to guard them cats. That's why Zion's so tough. That's why Zach was so tough. He's left-handed in the paint with a big body. Bro, it's over, man. If he gets it inside, go ahead and put the points on the board, man. Put the points on the board. Hey, Gil,
if Burns is on the board at pick number 8, the Rockets are going to be probably picking someone around 8. That's going to be the Brooklyn Nets pick they got in the James Harden trade. If that Rockets have the 8th pick and he's on the board at 8, would you take him?
Hell yeah. Yes. Yes.
I would not. I'm going to tell you why.
Come on.
I think the Rockets need to pick a real good, quick backup point guard. Whoever the best point guard out there. That's what they need. Either they need to make another trade for a backup point guard. Now, Holiday's okay, but his ball handling and playmaking, he's a better shooter than he's a ball maker and a ball handler and a playmaker. I think that's what they need.
Paul, their point guards are Fred VanVleet, Amon Thompson, and Holiday. So you telling me that?
And that's what I'm saying. You need a better backup quality. Amen Thompson has proven, hey, he's probably best as a small forward because he can rebound so well. He may develop into a point guard, but right now, when Fred VanVleet goes out, it's really a low production. And Fred VanVleet plays a whole lot of minutes.
Well, that kid from Houston would play just like VanVleet. The point guard from Houston, he's tough. But if you want to back up point guard, there you go. That kid, I like that kid from the University of Houston. That kid can play, man. He is tough.
Would you take him at number 8? Would you take him at number 8, Gil?
Man, if that's what they need, But if my man Big Burns is in, I'm taking Burns. I'm sorry. I got to get that paint work.
Now, Burns, is he going to be a power forward in the NBA, or would you think he'd be a center?
He ain't going to be no center, but he's going to be nasty in the paint.
I don't know if he has the foot speed to play the 4.
I just want to point out
he don't.
The history of big bodies, like Glenn Davis. He had some good years, but he got too big. Most of the big bodies, if they really haven't taken care of themselves, now Zion might be the difference, but he got so big last year, year before he got hurt. Big bodies, you got to really lose some weight and take care of yourself to even stay in the NBA. So that would I be concerned about with R.J. Burns. That's his name?
That's a valid point. But the kid got a good head on his shoulders, man, and he looks like he's ready to play. So man, with the work he's doing right now, he's not playing against chumps. He's playing against the top caliber cats and giving it to him. He is giving it to him, man. I like that cat.
Are you guys aware that? Are you guys aware that the NBA, the NFL want Burns? There are NFL teams that want to draft Burns.
I'm sure they do. Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure that's not something that's uncommon. By the way, when they talk about tight ends and people that can run like that, he's awesome, man. I like the kid, man.
Hey, let me give you guys an update. South Carolina just went on a run. They up now by 8. They just got cut to 8, but they were on a run. They were up 10. So just letting you know, they up on NC State right now.
I want to get to that, Jeff, but I want to ask our final predictions on who is going to win the NCAA. Brother Phil.
UConn. That was never a question.
Brother Gil.
UConn.
Who you got?
I'll tell you why. Real quick, y'all got UConn because of the coach. The coach is outstanding. He is absolutely outstanding. They got the best coach in left. I'm going UConn.
Jeff.
I got Purdue beating NC State, and I got UConn beating Alabama, and then I got Purdue beating UConn.
I'm gonna go with Tim. I'm gonna go with Purdue. Hey, brother Rick, how you doing?
Fine. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, all right.
Oh,
hey, we talking about the NCAA.
All this Bluetooth I got in the house.
Come on, Rick.
Rick Winslow.
How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing okay, brother. We appreciate you joining us. We're talking about the NCAA. I first talked about I did not choose and didn't think Zach Edey was gonna do what he's doing, but he showed he has a chip on his shoulder, and he's saying, "Hey, y'all cannot just discount me like that." Now, somebody did choose Purdue. I chose U of H. I was wrong, but Purdue. Now I'm going to choose them to win the championship. What's your comment on how the NCAA Final Four has went?
Well, I'm sad that my Cougs didn't make it to start off. So, but I like
Purdue. They didn't have you, Rick.
Yeah. But anyway, I just think if Shed wouldn't have went down, I think we'd have won by at least 12 points. They cut the head off the snake. I'm gonna go with Connecticut. I think they have a nice group of guys that'll be able to hold the big fella Purdue, and they got a solid team. I mean, very, very solid team.
Well, we got 3 UConns, we got 2 Purdues. We'll come back next time and see, and we'll just find out who wins. When is the game? The game is this Monday, right?
Yeah, it'll be Monday.
No, Saturday. They play Saturday, and then the finals is Monday.
Right.
So we'll find out, and then we'll report back the next show. Hey, the women's NCAA is going on, and LSU and Iowa was the highest rated female game of all time.
Yep.
That's due to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Now, if you watch the game, that girl does shoot from Steph Curry areas.
Yep.
Exactly.
I love that girl. She can play.
She's not.
I don't know why they didn't try to put 2 players on her and put a boxing one or whatever they could have done. However, she seemed to be too quick, and she'd have gave another player a layup if they had tried to do that. So, but she just kind of outclassed them. But
I think LSU's coach did a horrible job game planning for her.
You're right. If you should have put Flo J. Flo J is the athlete. She could have stayed with her a little bit better than the young lady they had on her. That was my viewpoint the whole time. And she's shooting from 35 feet, man. You got to do it. Boxing 1, triangle, and 2, something. She's killing you from outside, man. Absolutely killing you.
Well, I think her game is just so wide open. I mean, if you go under the screen, when she go to the left, she's pulling up for threes. And if you ride with her, she's good enough to penetrate and find an open man. So that's where I see her game is just amazing, kind of like Steph. So it's hard. I mean, if you double, somebody's going to be open, and the rest of her teammates are good enough to finish at the basket. So, I mean, she's not playing with girls that can't play. The other girls are really good as well.
So, Rick, let me ask this. The next level, WNBA, those are professional players. Is she going to be able to make a real impact? How about Angel Reese? Is she going to be able to make a real impact?
Well, I think she'll be able to make a real impact because her range is so deep. When your range is that deep and you have the handles that she has, and she's on a decent enough team where the other girls can finish, she'll still be able to make her assists. She'll still be able to shoot deep threes because once she crosses the line, she'll be similar to Steph, really. She just need maybe 2 or 3 years under her belt to really show who she is in the WNBA.
I thought about this, Rick, to your point, Rick, I thought about this. If they got a point, wherever she goes, if they got a point guard to set her up, penetrate and dish out to her, she's going to be unstoppable in the WNBA. She ain't missing, man. That girl
she's not missing, but I think she may be put at the point guard. I think you may get more out of her at the point guard because she can pass so well.
She can handle too, though. She can handle the ball and pass. So I do see that also.
Hey, Cole.
The economic impact, guys, they were just a part of the highest rated and highest financial female game. Are they going to bring that to the WNBA? Are they going to change the financial culture? Brittany Grenier just signed for $150. I thought that was a low amount for Brittany Grenier, given her status and what she's accomplished. But are now Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark gonna kind of up the ante? Phil, what you think?
I think Brittany Griner makes more money than that, Carl.
I'm talking about what she signed for 1 year.
Okay, but
rookie scale.
Yeah, I still think Brittany Griner makes more money than that, though.
She got endorsement.
Yeah, I mean, so her money is pretty good. I mean, but you talked about Caitlin Clark playing point there, Ricky, but think about the situation up in Las Vegas. While they are blowing people out, you got 2 point guards. You got Gray and you got Kelsey Plum. You're not stopping both of them. Because if Plum is scoring, then Gray is passing. If Plum is scoring, then Gray is passing. If she goes to a team like Gil said with a point guard, ooh, I hope
I
she
like that though. I like that as well. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on where she goes. That has a lot to, but the WNBA, I keep saying it every time we're on here, is not coming, it's here. It's here to stay. Right. They are growing. They are making this. I mean, of course, the feeder school is the colleges. You know, the colleges, look at what we're looking at right now. So we know they're coming. We know they're going to make their money. We know they're going to get it eventually, but no, they're not going to make the men stuff. But
you know what?
All the people watching the game, the Final Four are going to be watching. I mean, the women, just like men. I mean, they say the tickets cost more. That's all nice and dandy, but it's still a man's game. But we enjoy the women game because we know what females can do now. They want to do everything, and they get an opportunity. We give it to them, and they earn it, and they make it what they want it to be. It's their game.
I enjoyed the game thoroughly, man. And Ice Cube offered the $5 million off the that's 5 tickets, bro. That's a lot of money,
but
man.
She got offered $10 million by the other guy, the little rapper, to come in the big.
Oh wow.
To the big three.
I didn't know that.
He doubled Ice Cube. His name is Lil Durk. I never heard of him.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to talk about next. Rick, I want to hear your opinion on that.
I think what's going to cover it, I think she's going to get some really nice endorsers because they see what Ice Cube has came with. So it's going to be a company that comes with a nice endorsement. It's probably going to exceed $5 million to $7 million for sure.
Well, there's a lot of good women playing. Juju Watkins, I said that about her a couple of shows back. And then you got
she's nice.
Kansas got a nice freshman. You didn't get to see.
I think that girl at the Dallas Wings, she has an African name.
Oh yeah,
she got to step back like Harden.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a better guard in the WNBA than her. She's tough. She was close to, if not the leading scorer in the league, she was close to it. But every team got a good player, it looks like to me. Now, the thing is, will they have an expansion? Will we get some comments again? That's a good question.
I think expansion is coming. Expansion is coming for sure.
You think the comments are going to come back?
I don't know if the comments come back, but I think we're going to get 2 female teams for sure, WNBA for sure.
Hey,
that
Rick,
would be good, and that would enhance the league.
Rick, do you think that's going to happen?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry, I can't hardly hear you guys. I'm having problems with audio. Rick, do you think that expansion with the WNBA is going to happen simultaneously with the NBA expansion?
What's the time frame on the NBA?
I'm hearing 24, either 24 or 25.
I'm hearing 25.
No, 25 or 26. I'm hearing 25.
That may happen in 25, 26, I think.
Yeah, I'm hearing.
I think it's 2 years from now. I think
Seattle's coming back.
Seattle
and Vegas. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing too.
Seattle and Vegas.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
That's too good. That's too good hot spot too. Money makers.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin
Durant says if Seattle gets an expansion team, he wants to finish his career in Seattle.
Seattle is an incredible spot. That was the last place I was at before I went to Europe. Seattle is an amazing city to play
in. They got a lot of support there too, don't they, Rick?
I like that fish pier. I've been there one time. They got that nice fish pier with the fresh fish on the pier.
Did you catch the fish though?
It's big. I've been there.
Did you catch it? Did you catch it when they threw it?
Did you catch the fish though?
No, I bought mine.
No.
What about you, Paul?
Huh? Okay.
Did you catch it when they threw it?
No, I didn't catch it, brother, like that. No, I didn't catch it.
I've seen
I
it on
brought mine
TV.
too, like Brother Rick.
I've seen it on TV. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
San
but all
Francisco
across
has one similar, but not like that.
They got all different kinds of fish, and it's a unique situation.
San Francisco got one similar.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wish.
Yeah, Fisherman Wharf, San Francisco.
Yeah, I wish Rick would have missed that damn alley-oop they threw on top of my head in the Hawthorne Pavilion in 1982. That's what I did.
Hey, those were some amazing days, brother. Those were some amazing days.
But hey, Rick, tell him you hone that at the YMCA on South Central.
There
you
go.
Ready for
Third ward.
Hey, see, I didn't get a lot of opportunities at the YMCA, so I just thought in life, an opportunity, I had to take advantage of it.
But see, Rick, you were so young playing with all us grown boys. Yes. You know, you had to come up. But I'm just saying, but once you got it, you came back because I saw you there all the time working out.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, guys, I got to go into this conversation. On our site, they have mentioned that because of the Rockets' 11-game win streak, the Rockets should put aside Alperen Sengun and start that lineup that won the 11 games. I'm saying, no, that's crazy. Phil, give me what you think about that.
Well, he ain't been playing. Was he blamed for them last 3 losses? They got blasted.
Thank you.
He helped start the streak. He helped start the streak. Now, look, here's the deal. He's not a center. He knows that. Everybody knows that. But he's playing where they put him. And he was the leading scorer, leading rebound. Of course, people were trying to run Jalen Green out of here for what? There's a lot of young talent. I was just telling Gil before the game, before we started on air, just like Detroit, they're gonna be give that young talent time to develop before you start cutting it up and moving it around. Give it a chance. And it's coached now. They got a coach.
Yes,
I want to add something. You have to understand, when Houston had that 11-game winning streak, Houston really came upon a soft part of their schedule. True. Most of those wins were against weaker teams.
It's still the NBA. It's still the NBA.
I'm still saying their schedule was a soft schedule. Now they're hold on, Phil.
Don't you beat them in front of me?
The last 3 games they won 3 because they're going against tougher teams. That's what I'm trying to say.
Every team they lost to better than them.
Go ahead, Brother Rick. You was going to say something.
Them teams in the playoffs.
No, I just think they have a lot of talent, and I would keep it together. I mean, I would keep it together and let it develop and give them 2-3 years. Then, you got a lot of older veteran guys they're going to be leaving the league in 2-3 years, and then Houston young group they should be in the semis at least after say 2 years, the next 4 years back to back. So you never know what can happen. Shedeur is my guy. That's my turkey guy. Hey, I put him at newcomer of the year. If he wouldn't have got hurt, that's my guy there.
That dude does work, Rick. He does work.
You talking about Tyrese?
He the only one that worked on Wembanyama. He the only one.
Armand Thompson?
He does a lot of work. So I like that kid, man.
For a whole
he's
game.
Nice, man. He's nice. He got the whole package.
I just want to say this. With Jalen Green, they can move the offense from outside in and keep it wide open. And Alperen Sengun can fit in. He don't have to have the ball to score and to participate. But if you give him a pass, you get the rebound, he can still do what he does. Jalen Green kind of needs the focal point on him, and he can do that. And he can kind of create energy from outside, and then they can throw it inside. And Jabari, I think Jabari's the key. He has to get better. All of them got to get better and stronger. And then I think they could be close to winning 50, 55 games next year.
That comes to Rick's point. That comes with time, man. You got to give them some time. That's exactly what Rick's talking about. They're not bad, man. You got to give them time, man. Everybody's not ready when they come in, man. Give them some time. Develop them. They got a coach. Let them work.
And proof of that is,
and plus these guys coming in at age 19, we getting 19-year-olds.
That's why you got to give them time, Jeff.
Give them time to develop.
But here's another sign of immaturity. Tyree comes in with this shirt. He's not even playing, and come out to play Warriors, and they saw that.
Exactly.
Them veterans, they played with them last. That's what they ran that score up a little bit on purpose.
He gave them bulletin board material. I'm like, why is he talking?
So you don't do that when you know the difference, when you know what's going on in the league.
Exactly.
You learn from older players. You learn from veterans. You learn from playing.
He haven't played since January, and he talking stuff.
But he's a very important part of that team.
When he went down, that affected the team because that boy
did, but you know what it did, Carl?
He was fighting. Go ahead, Phil.
It also brought up the guy everybody been crying about. Go ahead, Jeffrey. I'll let you say his name.
No, go ahead. No, what?
Is that Whitmore?
There you go. Rickie took it out of my
Whitmore.
Jeffrey been crying. I was giving you a little props there, Jeff. You always like Whitmore. I'm just saying.
I do. I'm still having some audio. I can't hardly hear everything.
Yeah, but Rickie said it. Tyree went down, but Whitmore showed what he could do. But I think the coach made an example out of Whitmore to let him know, hey man, this is the NBA. You got to do things different. This ain't Villanova. And he got it. And once he got it, you saw what he did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they got the one of the best rookies, and they slipping got Whitmore.
They got two.
I know Whitmore. Whitmore is a great player, but he just got to get other little few things right. He's perfect, man. He's the future.
Hey Rick, what do you think about the trade for Steven Adams? How do you think Steven Adams is gonna fit in with the Rockets next year?
I think Steve Adams will help a lot because then you can really go big. You can go with Shadar, and you can go with what's the other kid from Alabama? You can go with him at the 3. You can switch it up. You can switch it up a whole lot of different ways.
People forget Smith's 6'11". He's not little.
Yeah, and then you can put Cam at the 2 sometime.
Yeah.
And Van Fleet at the 1. You got a lot to work with. So that's why I look at Houston. Man, the next 4 years, Houston's going to be awesome. They're going to be awesome. They just got to gel and get that chemistry together.
And Udoka won't settle for less. He's going to get it.
Yes.
Because he knows his job on the line.
I think the only thing they're missing is a backup point guard, and they could get that in the draft or a trade.
Or free agent.
Amen Thompson, okay. Holiday, okay. But the speed and ball handling behind Van Vliet, I think that could help him.
I told you the name.
I agree with that.
University of Houston.
I think they need a switch stroke and small forward.
Who said?
Yes, sir.
They need a Dell Ellis.
Rick, that kid's
I would love Shed to be at the Houston Rockets. That would be perfect.
Bro,
believe it or not,
I'll take a page of Stojakovic.
Shed does have another year eligibility, but people don't talk about it because of the COVID year. Yeah, he could conceivably come back. He probably won't, but he could. Just because he's a senior in academic wise, eligibility wise, he has another year.
Yeah, and then the protocol, he probably had a year of that protocol. With the protocol, he probably could transfer easy.
Yeah. Well, everybody jumping in the portal.
There's a whole lot of people
crazy. That portal is crazy.
From school to school. I think they said over 2,700 people are transferring.
Yeah, I want to ask Rick a question.
College just has a lot of free agents.
That's it.
Rick, let me ask you a question. I got to ask Rick this because we played in the same era, and you guys are old enough to remember. Can you imagine someone saying, I'm not going to play for this school and I'm going?
Nah, it don't work. Not in our era.
Rick,
not in our era.
Watch this.
Watch
this, Rick. You going to wear purple and white, Rick? You going to wear purple and white?
No.
It's not going to.
I love purple and white, but that bring out the best in me. That's like the Lakers playing Milwaukee or something. They bring out the best.
Exactly. That's it. That's like, you're right.
That's like Giannis going to the Lakers. It don't work like that.
No, sir.
Well, here's the flip side of that. The number one player in this area 2 years ago, PJ Haggerty, signs with TCU. He redshirt. Okay?
Yep.
He leaves there and goes to Tulsa and is the number one leading scorer in the nation among freshmen. Had a great season. But Tulsa sucked. Guess what he doing? Guess what he doing?
Memphis.
Guess what he doing?
Going to Memphis.
Where he going now?
He in the portal. It don't matter where he go, but he in the portal.
He's in Memphis.
That's what's so good too when you can pick your own school as a free agent. You can pick your own school.
Forever. Players had to sit out a year in the past if they transferred. What if you get hurt during that year while you out? Exactly. I mean, a lot of things could have happened, but it's a whole new world. You can't genie the bottle.
There's no deterrence now. There's no deterrence to it. Everybody just put their name in there now.
So, Rick, you see that as totally positive? Do you see any negatives with it?
With the protocol?
The transfer portal and all that they're doing.
No, I agree with it because especially with NIL, because just think, NIL is probably saving a lot of schools from being on probation. Just be honest with you. And now that you can have endorsements, it just makes it a lot better. Now maybe that organization that was going to help the kid, now you just give him a nice NIL deal. So I love the NIL deal. So that's perfect. I think the transfer protocol, it really, really helps the college basketball to where it's not one solid team that's winning anymore. Like you say, Duke, or you say Kentucky, it threw a monkey wrench in their game quick. Even football with Alabama, it threw a monkey wrench in Alabama. Because now you don't have to get that top freshman when you can get that top player in protocol or some that junior or senior.
And here's another thing we haven't talked about: the junior college players that are really good, the high school players that are really good. Yeah, it affects them too, but they're in the mix even better now.
Yeah, I like it better. I like it better than before. A lot better because now the individual is getting some of the funding instead of just the schools.
Exactly.
The school always exploited the athlete. I mean, you go back to the Ed O'Bannon situation that he brought up. He said, hey, I'm participating for the university. I'm not getting none of the funds. I can get hurt, so forth, so on. And they were doing that for so long. So they were making millions and millions of dollars, and the athlete wasn't making any money.
Here's the beauty of the Ed O'Bannon. And here's the beauty of the Ed O'Bannon situation. He was out of college. He was already in the pros, and they was doing them EA games with his likeness. He looked back and said,
I agree with the NIL.
Yeah.
The only issue I have is I grew up in an era of loyalty, man. I gotta play for my school. I'm not gonna transfer. But the NIL, I agree with that part of it.
Right. But
I gotta stay loyal, bro.
Then the younger kids today, they have to realize, I say, once you out of 19th grade and you realize that you really have the ability to go to college, you have to look at your brand. So that's what a lot of youngsters now have to do is look at their branding, because your brand right out of school, whether you're in the top 100, top 50, and you got to kind of look at it as a business, really, because going to the next level, that's how individually you have to look at it. And then when you get to college, it's almost like you're a professional, because then through the NIL and you got to learn how to handle it as well, because you're getting a lot of funding up front as well. So you don't want a kid to get funds and then the next thing you know, they're not working out anymore because they're satisfied. So even though, a lot of when we come out, first thing we want to do, we want to help mama and we want to help daddy. We want to make sure everybody's in the right place, but you got to make sure you still got that drive.
Yeah, that's what I see is the possible problem. Some of the young men, they just want things given to them and don't want to work and don't have a work ethic. As a father of a young son, those are the dilemmas we go through, because we have a certain mentality. We came up differently. So that is the possible issue. But if I had the choice out of having the opportunity to have an NIL deal or not, and worried about whether my son is mature enough, I'd still rather have the opportunity, because he can come back later and get that degree later, and he can learn the lesson later. But let's get the money now.
Yeah, I agree with you with that for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I want to ask this question. We always got to ask this question. We right close to the NBA championship. We close to the playoffs, and it's a back and forth. Jeff, if I remember, you chose Denver to win. Is that true?
I told what? So I'm saying, say again?
Denver to win the championship.
Yeah, I went with Denver.
Okay, you said Denver and Boston, right?
Right.
Okay. I got to go along with that. I want to hear, Brother Rick, what you think?
Ooh, I mean, he's just such a good player, man. Denver is hard. I got to put Denver in my top two as well. Denver, and right now since Embiid got hurt, I'll have to go with Boston as well.
Embiid is back.
He got
Embiid
hurt
back.
again.
He's back. He's back, but it's going to take him probably a good 5-6 games. But I would lean towards Boston this year.
Okay.
I got
the
green.
I got the green on today. Green. Boston, baby.
Boston.
Okay. Hey, I got to interject that other green, though. Don't forget about Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I know people are down on Doc Rivers, but when you got a Giannis, you got a Damian Lillard, you got a Middleton, be careful. Be careful. I mean,
that was the worst decision.
I like that
Giannis
situation.
at the center with Bobby Portis at the power forward and play a lot quicker. I would not be surprised if Milwaukee comes out of the East. I'm not picking them right now. I'm picking Boston, but I would not be surprised about Milwaukee. Brother,
they have the talent, but do they have the coach?
I'm not down on Doc Rivers like everybody else trying to be. That's just me.
Last time Doc won one. When has he won? When last time he won one?
Hey,
he's had great teams.
How many people have won a championship?
When last time he won one?
How many people have won a championship?
Good point, Carl. Good point, Jeffrey. But here's the deal. Milwaukee should be better than they are. When they're going to turn it on. Now, I'm saying everything you said was true. But Boston is turning it on and is doing it. Denver is a threat the minute they throw the ball up because they got Jokic, and if they're healthy, they got a good team and a good coach. Malone is better than people as a coach, than people give him credit. So he's 1-1 now, so that puts him in rare air. You know, all you need is 1. 2 or 3 is better, but 1 puts you there. You know, not close to the door, you in when you get 1. So they're still a threat as long as they're defending champions. And of course, like I said, Boston is hungry. Milwaukee probably had a better talent set. But let's see what Doc does. I'm not giving up on Doc either, but it's been a minute, and he's had several chances. So
let's just say this here, Phil. They were winning at a 65% clip before they got Doc.
I duly note that. I duly
they went at a 65%
but Adrian,
clip. Now they're winning at a 50% clip.
But the only time that counts is now. And I'm with you. But that's done. You can't ungenie that one either. So let's go with Doc, see what he does, because he was comfortable in the announcer's chair. He didn't have to come out there, but he did. And that's when you put your name on the line, your rep on the line. You know how it is, Gil. You know how it is, Rick. You at the gym. You next up. The guys just ran 5-6 games in a row, and then your team come up and you lose 2. You don't get to play no more that day.
Yeah, I say this. I love the way Jeff brought in the percentages, but in the playoffs, when the playoffs start, everybody's 0-0. The percentages don't count no more. So, and I'm gonna use North Carolina State as an example. Right? How many have rattled off? 11? They peaked at the right time.
11 in a row.
9 in a row.
Yeah.
They peaked at a great time.
Yeah, Jackie Carr used to tell us, man, I don't want to win in November, December. I want to win in March. So North Carolina State is, man, they are what exactly they're peaked at exactly right time. And I think in the playoffs, everybody's 0-0. It's who's going to peak at that time. I'm going with Boston, but hell yeah, Milwaukee might peak at that time. And whoever peaks at that time, that's who's going to take it.
I want to interject before we finish this. The dark horse, in my opinion, is Dallas. Because Dallas got 2 firebrands. And if they get hot in the playoffs, you can't almost stop Doncic. And then you got Kyrie. And now, if those big boys can learn how to play, I think they can upset Denver. And Dallas, both when they got a team and they really go hot, they get all the way.
They got Hardaway Jr. too. Hardaway Jr. is a
I want to see what Dallas is going to do. So if it's not Denver, I'm picking Dallas.
And they got Hardaway Jr. too. He's a streak shooter.
Off the bench.
He scores.
And Dallas is only 7 games out of the number 1 seed, so it's pretty close. From the 1 seed all the way down to say 7 seed, it's pretty close.
We'll see.
I don't think they can beat Minnesota though, especially if Big Cat come back.
Yeah,
I think they can beat Minnesota.
Strong too.
I think they can beat it. I think in the right setting they can beat anybody in the West, including Denver.
I can see that, but right now, under the circumstances, they wouldn't have home court advantage against Minnesota, and Minnesota has earned what they got this year. Nobody gave them nothing. They earned it.
Right. And they played good with that boy Nas Reed too. Even without Cats.
They
only won a half a game behind Minnesota.
But that's my point though. I mean, they're still winning, and they don't have one of their top dogs.
So we'll see what's going to happen. I just want to throw that dark horse in.
I'm okay with that.
I'm picking Denver, but I think Dallas has a good chance too. If it's not Denver, it's going to be Dallas. If it's not Boston, it's going to be Milwaukee. So I'll just say that. But we'll see. We're very close to the NBA playoffs.
Oklahoma City. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, they're strong too. Minnesota and Oklahoma, you got to watch out.
Oklahoma's only one game out of number one
seed. I don't think Oklahoma is ready yet. They are now. It's according to how good is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander when it comes down to the playoffs. I really believe that's going to be the key. But I think Chet is pushed around in the playoffs. That's my opinion.
Well, he's going to be in good shape. It ain't going to be his fault.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Who's y'all MVP? Who you going with MVP?
I'm going to say Tatum. I said Gilgeous last time, say Gilgeous-Alexander, but I'm a flop. But he's been hurt a little bit too. But Tatum been consistent all year.
I don't know why he doesn't get his more pub. He should. I think they're so good, people just take them for granted.
Well,
that's how they do it with Jokic.
He wants to ring more than MVP, so I think he's going to shoot for it.
I think you're right, Phil. He deserves a good consideration. He deserves more consideration because him and Jaylen Brown have kept that team up.
Yeah,
he should get more consideration.
I think because Jaylen Brown is so good, that may be taken away from some of the performance of Tatum as far as how people see him as far as MVP. But what about Luka? What do y'all got to think about Luka Doncic? The guy's averaging 34 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds.
I like him. I like him too.
The problem with Luka was they weren't winning, but now they're winning and they're getting a little bit up there.
And so he's not missing a lot of games, Paul. This is the most games he's played since his rookie year. He usually misses a lot of games.
I think you got to consider him also.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you got this might be his year.
The boy from Milwaukee is averaging 31 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists a game.
Oh, well, Giannis is going to always be there. Yeah,
Giannis and Jokic will always be there.
Oh, yeah, them two there.
He's won 2 already, though. And
if Joker wins,
I think
Denver wins it, it's going to be Joker. It's going to be Joker again. But I'm pulling for the Celtics. So
some of the things we see Joker doing, we really take it for granted because he's on such a high level. Like when LeBron was winning, we said, if somebody else be the MVP, that's kind of how you look at Jokic.
Yeah.
Rick, I want to ask you a question, Rick. You played with Hakeem Olajuwon. My question is this here. How would you think Jokic would match up against Olajuwon in the best-of-7 series, Houston versus Denver?
Olajuwon would kill him on offense. He would kill him on offense, and he would defensively. It would be strong because Jokic his offense in the post is really good. So I would give slight edge to Olajuwon, but Jokic right there because he can score. And he can assist. I think Jokic is a better passer than
Olajuwon. It wouldn't be a mismatch.
Oh, he is.
No, that'd be a
mismatch.
Game. Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be a pretty exciting.
Yeah. I'd take Olajuwon against anybody.
Dream.
I gotta do a dream.
I think Jokic has a higher basketball IQ, and Olajuwon has more athletic ability.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he ain't stopping no dream shake. I promise you, he ain't stopping no dream shake. He's gonna kill his ass. I promise you.
Better passer. That's about it.
All right, guys, I want to shift gears a little bit. The Astros have started very, very slow. Very, very slow. But I saw that they won a game 10-0. What's their record? Maybe 2-4. What's their record, Phil?
I think 2-5. Is it 2-5?
3-5.
2-5.
3-5? Okay.
My question is...
They lost 2 one-run games to the Yankees. They got swept. but those were 2-run games. They didn't get drove but one game, and you got a no-hitter for your first win of the year. So that's promising. Verlander coming back. But look at the roster. I mean, you got Alvarez, Abreu, Bregman, Pena, Altuve. Come on, man, they're going to be okay.
They're going to be okay.
Yeah.
The one thing about baseball, they play a whole lot of games, 162 games.
Yeah.
My question is, have they missed Dusty a little extra, or just the talent is okay? You can almost put any manager out there.
Not any manager, the right manager. And this guy has a good condition for the organization. He's been in there for a few years. Certainly he could screw it up, but you could have brought somebody high profile in. But Dusty wasn't a high profile hire either, but he just was a steady manager who had been good everywhere he went and finally got over the hump here.
And then they'll be all right. They just got a new coach. It's got to get used to the new coach and everything.
Yeah,
they're gonna be all right.
We got so many good veteran players.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they almost can run the team themselves. You got some great veteran players. Yeah. We ain't good.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
the veteran
very early in the year, we'll see what is going to happen. I want to ask a question that wasn't on our agenda, but I need to throw it in. Hey, gambling is entered the NBA. It's entered baseball. How big is the problem and what they're going to do about the problem? Phil, I need you to start that off.
Well, gambling has always been around, illegal or legal, and it's going to be around. You know,
I used to gamble when I was 10 years old.
You have to know your players, and you have to know your organization because they got guys betting out of the locker room now. You know, and they can track that. So don't think that they don't know. You know, we don't hear about all of it. I mean, guys getting 4 and 5 game suspensions and, you know, just all kind of little stuff. It's a problem and it's going to be a problem, but it was never not going to be introduced to where everybody can do it. I mean, ESPN has a show just on gambling.
Yeah.
Just on gambling. I'm not a gambler, so I don't bother me.
I participate online.
There you go.
I didn't win, by the way. I bet on the NCAA tournament. I didn't win anything. However, it's so accessible. Had I won that, I'd have won $20,000. I wish I had picked Purdue, but I didn't. So we'll see. But that boy for the Dodgers, you know, that brought baseball into attention. But of course, the bigger thing is when the officials get caught up into gambling.
And you know what I think about Michael Jordan when I was in Chicago, that's all he did. It was a bet on everything from when you're in the air, from the flight to the floor.
Rick, I didn't want to put you on the spot, brother, but I was just getting ready to ask you. I mean, Michael Jordan bet on everything. I didn't want to put you on the spot, brother.
Sprint,
everything.
And he admitted it.
Hey, but I got one for you. What you think we should do with the Astrodome? Won't we make the Astrodome an island and make that a big casino?
Wow.
And build some hotels inside of the Astrodome and put some water going all the way around it, and that'd be a little island.
Wow.
Is that a possibility?
That would be.
You need to be on the committee. You need to be on the committee.
I want to make it legal in Texas first for the gambling part, but everything else should happen before the gambling get here, and then it's in place.
Can we make our own little island and put the dome there?
It should be.
And put some hotels, 3 or 4 hotels inside, walkways.
That should be there already. So when the gambling get here, you in place. You're absolutely right. And it's doable.
Rick,
all they got to do is just put it together. And that's not illegal. We are a tourist town. We got people coming for everything. That would be already in place. And then you put the gambling.
That would be a very interesting thing.
Come right across the street
with NRG, with everything. You know, you got
the know something we don't know, guys. He's not telling us.
That would be a very interesting tourist attraction. So that's a good. I'm sure, Brother Rick, somebody's out there thinking about that.
It's been brought up before.
Oh, Rick's thinking about it.
It's been brought up plenty of times. But you know, this panel just now he brought it up, but it's been brought up. But somebody got to do it now. Who's going to be the person that spearheads it and gets it done? Because that's the most important part. The hotel part is needed. That will not be wasteful at all.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Rick, you need to be on that.
Hey, we got South Carolina 72, NC State 52.
Oh, they went on, ran them
out. What is it?
Yeah.
What's the score?
Yeah, they blowing them out, man. They blowing them out.
82 to 62.
But they played them tough for the first half. They played them tough for the first half.
They blowing them out.
Now we know. Now we know who's in the final. We gonna see.
I want to see the next game. I want to see the next game.
Are we talking about South Carolina and Iowa?
Beckers is going to show the world.
I can't wait to see Connecticut, and Iowa. That's the game.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, is that tonight, Brother Rich?
That's tonight.
Yes,
that's the next
game. It's the next game.
Well,
the next game.
We get off this show,
and we're
going to speed up the process. We'll check that out.
That's what's happening.
Hey, Rick, that's a Wheatley Yates matchup, man.
That's
I got Roddy on Iowa.
Hey, big on South Carolina.
Man, if we had the guy had 3 points,
why we can't put Sterling and Clyde Drexler and all that stuff in there 1 or 2 times?
Hey, before just think if Wheatley had 3 points back in the day.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Woo. Hey, Jeff, the Texans just got
50.
they just got Stephon Diggs. Overall, how do we look at the Texans and the projections for this upcoming?
All right, let me champion this effort here. I am elated with what the Texans have done.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, not just the Diggs signing, but all the free agent signings. They did exactly what I told you guys they should do. If y'all go back and look at the tape, they did exactly what I told you they should do.
Hey, man,
I said they should spend most of their resources and free agency resources on the defense, and maybe sign 1 offensive lineman, and then in the draft go address your skill positions. And they've done exactly what I said they're going to do. Phil, what was that you said? You said they should get the 2 guys from Kansas City, they 2 best defensive players. That's what you said?
And I'm doubling down on it. They still got the position players. That's funny to you, but guess what? Those same guys got traded for and got picked up, and they re-signed the big boy. But guess what? They didn't get the guy Chris Jones, but they got the guy from Minnesota. It's still position by position. Some players are better than others, and that's obvious. Right. We're not talking about apples and oranges here. We're talking about position for position. And I just named
some players that won't get Kansas City 2 best defensive players. That wasn't realistic.
Excuse me. Can I finish?
Finish.
Okay. Thank you very kindly. Second of all, they didn't get the players we were not talking about. We were talking about hypotheticals, your wish list. I gave it. You blew up. But guess what? Them same players were matched, just like I said, just not here. You were talking about what the Texans needed. If I was GM, you asked me, not if you was GM, you asked me what I would do. And I told you. We just didn't agree. That's not a problem. Last time I checked. Let's go back.
I think they made some great moves. Oh my goodness.
They made some great moves. First of all, you had to make those moves they made to be relevant to go to the next level. They surprised everybody. They're not going to surprise nobody this year, buddy.
Man, they got Diggs, they got Nico Collins, they got Tank Dale.
I'm with that. But they did what they were supposed to do. They had money, they had draft picks, and they evidently did their homework. They probably did more than any team in the league to improve themselves, bar none.
D'Amico Ryans. I'm not a Texan. D'Amico Ryans did a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job.
Archery. Hey, that's an underrated signing. D'Amico Archery. 11.5 sacks last year. A lot of people not talking about him.
Yeah, those two.
D'Amico Ryans, man. I'm not a Texas fan, but D'Amico Ryans is, man, he's making a hell of a difference. I don't know what took him so long to make these kind of moves, because they always had the money. They just didn't make the move. This cat came in and said, "Man, we got to make these moves."
We got the right coach in place.
There you go.
Absolutely.
They listening to him, man. That's exactly right, Rick. You're absolutely right. They got a monster squad now. To that point, and I'll leave it at this: it still got to go to Baltimore and KC, but they getting ready.
They're getting ready.
The cats are getting ready.
Yeah, they look like they're getting ready.
Hey, I know what I want to ask Rick.
They were playing against them last year, and so
let me ask Rick a question. Rick.
Yes, sir.
Right there. Hey, Rick, would you, as far as the WNBA, would you lower the rim so they can have a better product, so we can start seeing more dunks and alley-oops and stuff? Maybe improve the product. What would you do for the WNBA?
10 foot. 10 foot.
Thank you. That's not,
what did he say?
An option.
Everybody you ask tell you the same thing, Jeff.
He keep asking.
No. See, my whole thing. My whole thing with the girls are way more fundamentally than the boys. But defensively, the girls can't stand a chance. They're terrible on defense.
Yes, sir.
So that's the big points with that. But I would keep it at regular at 10 feet.
Yeah, don't lower nothing.
I wouldn't lower
nothing.
We are toward the end of our show. It's been a great show, but I got two more little things. Has anybody seen a UFL game?
Saw the game the other day. The kid from Texas kicked a 64-yard field goal to win the game.
Wait. I got one question.
Okay, go ahead, Brother Rick.
What you guys think about the new rule in the kickoff, for the kickoff, NFL kickoff?
It's going to be interesting.
Will you just wait?
Describe that rule, Brother Rick.
I think is it the 30 or is the 30-yard line where you just 10 yards apart? 35, 10 yards apart.
Nobody can move until the ball is caught.
Yeah. They're not running 30 yards, 40 yards.
They're only 10 or 15 yards apart from each other.
I got a bigger problem with the damn tackling rule that they put in, man. What the hell is that, man?
Worse.
That's
a bigger return.
Man, look, you can't tackle nobody, bro. This is crazy.
Flag. It's gonna be flag after a while.
Hey, they're trying to do things for safety across the board. But this is tackle football. It's gonna be, I mean, unless you're gonna make it touch football, flag football, things are gonna happen. So, I mean, but I understand the kickoff thing, and they're trying to, because I remember, I don't know if y'all remember a guy named Michael Carter. He almost killed somebody on the kickoff one time.
You mean the weightlifter Michael Carter that played for the 49ers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a big dude. And
he's an Olympic weightlifter.
You can hurt somebody. So I kind of understand that, but it takes away the excitement a little bit, but they're trying to work on safety. I can understand it though. But the UFFL has 8 teams. They have the Roughnecks here in Houston, and I think they have a team in Birmingham.
Memphis,
they have a team?
Pittsburgh,
Memphis.
Do they have a team in San Antonio?
Pittsburgh,
Arlington,
and the Pittsburgh Maulers.
Pittsburgh. I know they have Birmingham. I think, do they have New Jersey?
I think so.
I think so. I know they took from the old USFL and then the XFL.
Teams.
And they got 8 teams, a combination of them. So we're going to keep looking at that, and we're going to bring a report back next show and see what's happening with that. We keep up with everything in sports. And the last thing I want to talk about, in high school track and field, Atascocita ran a 38.9. There are college teams that don't get close to that. There are international teams that don't get close to that. Right here in the state of Texas, they ran 38.9. And second place, I think it was Duncanville, ran 39.5. The
Texas
time before that was 39.7. And coming up is the Olympics.
Texas speed is different.
Say again?
Texas speed is different, bro.
I love the speed. I got one question. I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
In our zones with Yates and Wheatley, economically,
hell no.
With the development of the city, is Wheatley losing a lot of kids like Yates because of the buyout and the build up of the inner city?
Yes,
absolutely, bro. They're leaving it. And
HISD period.
Yeah,
but David Burrell,
David Burrell,
nobody's.
David Burrell, the coach at Wheatley, is actually trying to keep Wheatley together and bringing some of the kids back. Some of the parents that played there. He's actually trying to keep that group together. So the answer to the question is yes. but we're trying. We're fighting for our inner city, man. We're fighting for Fifth Ward for sure.
And it's hard. It's hard at Yates too, because University used to be about all that going to 45.
But they've been trying to do that. Yeah, they've been.
Yeah, but it's kind of like done. I mean, you got a few people that's there. A lot of alumni already brought it up and they sent it back to the school. So that's kind of done. But on the other side of Scott, that's the hard part. Yeah. But if they come in and build all that up, what's going to happen anyway?
But that was projected, Ricky. That was no surprise. They've been talking.
I know, but all I'm saying is, like, now we at 3A, right? So we lose 200 or 300 more students. I mean, what's going to happen to Yates and Wheatley? That's kind of my point. Like,
HISD, with you seen who the superintendent is, how he was appointed, and you seen how they
everything is changing.
All the principals, all the teachers. Everything is pointing toward a slow decline until it's almost no more.
I'll put it this way. Me and Rick played in front of 15,000 standing room only people in Hawthorne's Pavilion. We'll never see that again. We'll never see that again. Rick, I know you remember. I know you remember that, Rick.
I remember.
But Hawthorne's was a unique place. It held on a certain amount of people. The place, if you've been in a new place, Rick, I saw you in a game or two. We talked in a couple of games. It's smaller. It's more quaint. It's more modern, but it's not better than Hawthorne's.
It's not better, but you bring it more closer to the floor.
It's what it's supposed to be. I mean, Timber Fertitta is Timber Fertitta. That's money. When you walk in there, you smell it.
Yeah, like when you go
to. What I'm saying is the intimacy of Hawthorne's from what it is now is where it ought to be. But we were there. People who weren't there don't know that. They can't process that if they never been there. So
I tell people about that all the time.
Days of selling out to high school venues in basketball and football in HISD are over. You won't have a situation like everybody going to see Rob Williams at HISD event and it's selling out.
I think you'll have that situation if we get some young talent that come through and they're incredibly good.
Well, you got a boy here at Bel Air that I heard about. I think his name is Shelton. I forgot his last name.
But see, but there you go. Bel Air, West Side, Lamar, they're building those schools up off the backs of what these other schools he just said. HISD Inner City, Jones, even 24A was the hardest district. You could imagine. You could go 33-3 and not make the playoffs. When only one team could go back then.
Right. 25-8.
You could win the JC. You could win the JC tournament and not win district.
Right.
So,
it was really competitive. Very competitive.
You came out of 25-8.
You had Sterling, Yates, Wheatley. Then you had to deal with Madison and Worley. All of that. You don't have those rivalries anymore.
And here's the deal. In those days, the outer city, the Cypress, the Woodlands, the Conroes, they didn't want to play. They didn't want to play the worst team in HISD. They lining them up now, like bring us all the HISD teams. We want to play all HISD, but it'll never be that. But back then, even Forest Brook and Smiley, they didn't want to come and deal with HISD teams.
Who's going to come to Fifth Ward and Third Ward to play us at home?
Nobody.
Cashmere was going all around. I mean,
they're not coming to Fifth Ward, man. You're gonna get stumped.
But we went to Clear Lake. We went to Clear Creek. We went to Westchester. Anybody remember Westchester? Westchester was a big team back then.
It didn't matter.
We just played each other. And you couldn't get in.
Yeah. Was good.
Those were the days. Yeah, but things are changing. And one thing the UIL kids are now looking at, hey, can I get a deal even in UIL?
That's where it's at right now. I mean, that's basically where it's at.
Yeah. So they looking at that, and they telling the college coach who recruiting them, hey, what are you going to do for me? Where's my car? Where's my bank account? So,
well, if you got an NIL, you got that.
I heard Dion's comment. He was talking about that.
Yeah.
So things are changing. And here in 75 Live Sportstake, we will keep up with it. We will know what's going on, and we'll bring it to you. We will share it with you. Our next show is on the 19th, and we will continue talking about the depth of sports. I thank everybody. We got a final comment, Mr. President?
No, everything's good. I want to thank Mr. Rickie Winslow, Fire Slammer Jammer. I appreciate you, Rick. I appreciate you, G-Rod.
We appreciate it, brother. Hey, we appreciate it. We'll see everybody next time on the 19th. And continue to check out the website, Certified Live Sports on Facebook, and put your comments in and talk to us and let us know what is happening. And we'll let you know what is happening in sports. We thank you.
We lit.